Traders, it is Thursday, and here's your today's market. We are going to start jumping into, obviously looking at some fundamentals. We did have the Bank of England. They hint at, the slow hikes as growth outlook raised. We're probably seeing a lot of the growth outlook raised because Brexit is, they're starting to, obviously we had that extension, and we're starting to see a little more optimism around that. And also on the data front, with the Brexit. We do UK's main corporate hint Brexit deal could be in sight. Again, this is what the market likes to react on. They're reacting on, by the rumor. This is what I would say is a rumor. I mean, people will start being optimistic on this. Acting on a positive note surrounding that there is a possible deal in sight. And we did, like I said, they did keep interest rates the same. They did raise their growth forecast, which is also a good sign. So really, if you were to take Brexit away, the economy is really not doing all too bad. And again, something else that it'll be important to look at. So the past few readings have been, 9 out of 9 members have voted to keep the rates unchanged. If we start to see this tilt to the vote hike, if it's either 1 out of 9 or 1 out of 8 or 7 out of 2, the pound, that is going to be bullish. So, for you guys to start getting a little head start on what maybe the pound is thinking, go back. This is going to help you a lot to understand. Go back to the Bank of England. They publish this. It's all public knowledge or public accessible. So we can go to monetary policy. Where is it? It's a lot of stuff on the site, so I just got monetary minutes, speeches. April 30th, was that, where is it? Let's do publications. There we go. So here, today we can go back. You can look at their inflation report. You can look at their visual summary. You can type in interest rates, and then I'll show you. This is probably a quick way to do it. And you get these little tabs. Read, quickly glance through a few of these tabs. Just trying to get, again, doing your due diligence. Financial Times stands pat on plans to raise rates. So again, this is optimism on, this is what we need to start pricing in, and we need to do that, soon. With all else, such as Brexit, having some optimism behind it as well too. On the China trade front, this China trade deal is possible next Friday. Again, that's speculation, but I mean that is optimism. So there's really no reason to be, kind of having, really the market is in risk on sentiment right now. We are seeing optimism with those trade talks, which is good. And I think that as this nears, that we're gonna see some optimism in the near term before that we actually get that deal. Let's check that calendar again. I mean, market manufacturing came in a little slower. It came out at 44.4. Consensus was 44.5. Market manufacturing came out a little better. That is good. I said that we should be watching that for the week. Just kind of getting a better understanding if the euro area is doing as bad as once thought. So we can let's jump into the charts. Australian dollar. Again, we've had the sell-off. We had it continue, exacerbated by the bad inflation date. Did get a little rally up out of here. Again, we did break the low. So, I mean, really from here, I'm kind of just going to be watching this. Nothing really to trade right now. Canadian dollar. Long term, I do think we're going to see some more upside. Iran, the U.S. did end Iran sanctions, or the waivers, to where, the U.S. was letting other countries be able to buy oil from Iran. but now those waivers are done. And what that means is that's going to kind of cut off supply. To It's going to cut off Iran producing oil. It's going to kind of cut supply, but at the same time you have OPEC, such as Saudi Arabia and some other countries sticking to a deal to cut their production as well. So overall you have production being cut across kind of the board. Decreasing supply, trying to increase the price. You do have Trump kind of fighting that, but I think overall this is the stronger. Trump doesn't really have control of OPEC. It's just him talking, him stating his mind. But the thing is that there is a possibility, there is worries that OPEC could end up over tightening, over cutting supply, causing a possible skyrocket in oil prices, possibly, boosting CAD. There still is some slight correlation. And if we did break out, we're going to go to that 2250, pretty good. But that is something I would be paying attention to. This is kind of more of a longer term view. OPEC. So again, make sure you're looking at the Canadian economy. Just understanding if the Canada economy is doing pretty good on top of looking at oil prices. I did have some notes I just want to look at from Canadian economy. Oh yeah, last week we did have rig count drops. So when the rig count drops, that means there's not any U.S. oil rigs that are being pushed out or drilling as of right now, which that means that they're not drilling for much oil. So that's another way that they are decreasing, or that just the overall oil production is decreasing. But again, I mean, a lot of oil traders, oil analysts were they were really looking at the U.S. shale production, and that was kind of a major concern about trying to get oil prices higher, because the oil in the U.S. they were just continuously drilling and drilling and drilling. But now we do see some of the oil rig counts, or the rig counts, kind of slowly decreasing. So again, that'll be something to pay attention to as well. That's just every Friday. So you see Baker Hughes rig counts. So that's what I mean by that. But really, I mean, for the week, I'm really just I'm not expecting a big move out of here this week. We're going to stay within this, most likely. CHF, I mean, we were at that low. We did break the low. Again, we are kind of consolidated around this area. So I would like to see this possibly consolidate a little more. And then we'll see. We'll just kind of take it from there. We don't want to jump in too early. JPY, again, we're kind of consolidated again up at this high. We did lows. We did have a little sell off as we came up into this level right here. These highs again came back, retested. So we're kind of getting some consolidation. And again, we're just going to kind of wait and see on this JPY. So watching the euro, again, we did have that manufacturing PMI come out pretty good. We are obviously in the downtrend for all the technical guys, but looking at it, the ECB does still, they do still have their negative rates, but again, probably best for me, I want to get some more data on this. We did just see, that one little tick up in, that euro area manufacturing. But really, I want to continue to see some of these China trade talks play out a little better, and actually see a deal that we could see some strength in the euro as well, and the Germany area, and then starting to see those indicators pick up. I do think that would be the case in the longer term. But as of this week right now, I don't really see much. We are closing down the week right now. NZD, again, we're kind of at these lows. Really not much. We'll jump into some pairs after this. USD. So again, the market did take the FOMC yesterday kind of as a more kind of a hawkish tilt to where they're gonna keep rates. They're really expecting rates. They were expecting rates to be the same today, which they were. Fed holds steady. Fed holds rates steady. Signals concern over sluggish spending, low inflation. So I mean, just the fact that they're not planning really cutting them. Most likely gave that market a boost, but kind of going in from here, we're really going to have to kind of watch the global economy and just kind of seeing how the euro area plays out. Because again, that's why we did see some of the strength. But looking at this on the daily, the weekly, let's look at that. The dollar is it is kind of tricky. But again, I mean, we're at these highs. Really, I'm just going to take some more time to assess it, keep you guys updated. The dollar is a little different than these other currencies because it holds, the majority of the reserve currency status. That's why, it's kind of been so resilient in times. I mean, we did have a sell-off here again. But, I mean, if we do see, slowing data, the Fed actually wanting to talk about cutting rates, I do think, we would see that sell side. But again, I don't, as of right now, I think it's probably better to be either neutral or, maybe long the dollar. But I really just want to, if you're going to be long, probably within this high, you're probably not going to want to take. I don't see anything that's going to drive us outside of there as of right now. Jumping over some of these pairs. What we were looking at, possibly the Euro JPY. Again, we had this kind of move down. We did break out, kind of retesting on this structure here to the left. Very minor to us or to me. We did break that 23.6, kind of retested it. So this is kind of be a 38.2 break. You kind of have to see. So you go back to your indexes, look at the Euro index, look at the JPY index, and kind of do your analysis from there. But I mean, if we did get a break out of this high right here at this 38.2, it's probably likely you could maybe see, the 61.8, 50 you're going to be doing some mitigating of losses. Stop loss, excuse me, maybe right there, or maybe a little tighter around 124.60, assuming that's not going to kind of break lower into this 124.40 level. So again, this is something we're going to watch. I will keep it posted, or I will post it into the Slack community if we do try, or if we do see a good setup with this. It's looking good right now, but kind of see if we can get some catalyst, or could just be a liquidation play to where that they're gonna possibly liquidate from this position and push us up into one of these Fibonacci levels. So this would definitely be my first target. This is where we see that most consolidation. That's 61.8, possibly up into 78.6, where we have this consolidation. That is a possibility as well. Euro AUD, not much. Euro CHF. I would really like to see more consolidation kind of up above this 114 level. And then possibly we could look for some longs, or excuse me, shorts on that. VP. I mean, a lot of these pairs on these pound have, just already ran, but if we can get a retracement of some of these, that'd be good. We could possibly, I did post this GBP, JPY, and looking for it to come to that 38.2. Again, that could just be because of JPY strength. If we did get that, this is just gonna be something I'm watching right now. We did get sell side from it, but to completely break this 38.2, I'm gonna be kind of waiting on that and kind of assessing data from there, because I just don't see really anything that's gonna push us lower. NZD CAD, again, kind of consolidated at these lows. NZD USD. We had a nice short-term break here. Could have exploited some this USD strength. Again, possibly we could get down to that 78.6. But your ideal entry would have been probably up in here. You can see DJPY again, not much. So I was looking at this NCDCHF. I just missed out on that. I have been quick. I just wasn't paying attention. But we did have this move up consolidation. We were at some structure high. Looking at it, on the daily. So again, looking at it right here, would I say this is a daily break, a 4 hour? I can, to me, I can kind of see that it was consolidating, but I want to jump down, possibly look at this 4 hour because now I can see the consolidation a little better. 1 hour, yeah, I do like the 1 hour too. Looking at it, I wouldn't say I'm not going to classify it as a 1 hour break, but it's just looking at some of these to kind of see how the consolidation is. But your ideal entry would have been up here, no consolidation on this leg. That's why we made it back down into this 78.6. So again, that would have been a nice 2.23 and 1 risk reward. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We're kind of winding down for the week. I do want to look at this CHF JPY, but I've never really traded this pair because of you kind of have two risk off currencies. So, but again, you are getting some consolidation, but I'm just not really comfortable playing it right now. So again, guys, webinar tonight at we'll do 7:38. I'll let you guys know the exact time, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you guys tonight.